this is Megan Falcone.
Josh Brenner.
And Seth Brenner.
And still Mike Castle.
Still Mike Castle.
Because what happened was we were filming the last episode and we were at like 17 hours and we still had more to... We hadn't even gone to a date. So we decided to just make it a two-parter.
You didn't know I was coming in with so much homework that I had done.
I think we just can't get enough Mike Castle.
Do you have 10 more questions?
I could probably come up with some when I hear the date.
This is uncharted waters. Are we doing recap from the 10 questions before we get into a date? Are we launching right into a date? Are we doing a relationship corner?
We're going to put Mike Castle on the spot and he's going to be our relationship corner.
What an amazing thing to have an improviser who, like, you just have to look at them and yell something at them and they're like, yeah, I got that.
I do, maybe some points.
-5 for Megan.
Yes.
Oh, Meg,
it's
looking bad over there.
Okay, I will tell you, this is classic relationship corner stuff. Okay.
Well, time out.
Yes.
It's time for...
Oh, Jesus.
Relationship corner!
Okay, continue.
I do prefer Seth's. Okay, so many years ago, I was at a party with a friend of mine. It was a holiday party. He was in a relationship. I was sort of like newly single, but everyone around me thought I wanted to be set up with someone, but I really did not.
Why did they think that?
Because I lived alone and I had a mattress on the ground.
I have an instinct to want to set you up.
Yeah,
I mean, not now,
yes.
but in our earlier friendship.
Yeah. I take it as a compliment. But this one time was so aggressive. It's one of the most bizarre things that's ever happened to me. So I'm at this party with a friend of mine, and he famously only liked girls with red hair. He had such a thing with redheaded girls, but he was dating a redhead. And so at a certain point, he brings over this redheaded girl at this party. And then he's sort of flirting on my behalf to her. He's kind of talking about me, but I can tell it's really in service to him, if that makes sense.
Because he's pathological. He sees a redhead. He absolutely must.
Literally, when I walked into the party and I saw this girl, I was like, oh, he's going to love her. That's And so we're chatting for a while, and I am really openly I'm not super interested in this at all.
In general, what's your feeling about redheaded girls?
Oh no, that's great. Redheaded girl.
Okay.
I don't really have type even. Okay. I wouldn't say. But so this is going on for a while, and my friend is the designated driver of this evening. And so eventually, this person who he has brought over, her friend says that there's a second party, and would we want to go? And so I said no, and then my friend was like, no, we definitely should go, and I'll drive. And so then everyone's all enthused that this guy's driving. So we drive to this next location, go to another party, whatever. And all the while, my friend is just talking to this girl, but he's always kind of giving me that look, even though I'm I am not involved in this.
Wow, he's you're doing great,
yes,
right?
He's she's loving you.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I'm being a terrible listener. Is his redheaded girlfriend also there?
She's not there.
She's not present.
Okay,
Okay.
that was my next question.
But he's a flirty type of guy.
Bit
always
of a
being
Seth.
Flirting is fun.
And I was like, you love this? With every person, he's always flirting with every person. I never
Yes,
understood it. Yes,
it's the best.
Totally crazy to
So
me.
exhausting.
Totally crazy.
Yes.
Totally crazy.
Yes.
It makes me embarrassed. I'm
Me
embarrassed.
too.
I'm embarrassed. I'm
It's
uncomfortable.
now, especially as we're married, if someone flirts with me, I'm like, I want to not exist. I don't want to be a part of this at all.
Yeah, I hate it when so many people flirt with me.
I say I am.
It's rare. It's rare.
I'm married. I'm very, very married.
Okay, but so we're at the second location, whatever. Then her friend leaves, and then she kind of gives me this look of do you want to keep hanging out? And I was barely hanging out, so I was like, no, I don't think so. But then my friend goes, I'll drive you guys. Let's go to Mike's apartment.
Oh.
What?
So then we drive, and we're driving, and I'm kind of just going I don't know. Is this what dating is like?
This
I
is
have no
a
idea.
Tim Robinson.
Yes. We get to my apartment, and then within 5 minutes of being there, my friend goes, all right, I gotta go.
No.
And then he leaves, and now it's just me and this girl, and it's very, very awkward. And then I just go, I'm sorry, this got out of hand. My friend is flirting, and I think he's trying to make us flirt now. But I'm not in that point of my life at all where I'm available for that. So I don't know. I can drive you home if you want. And then she's like, okay. And then I drove her home, and then it was just that was it.
Tell me about this car ride home.
To hers? It was the most awkward experience.
Was there conversation?
Not really.
Just
and she's still, I see this person all the time. She's so around the community. I'm always oh my God, it's so awkward.
Wait. She's I'm down, let's go to Mike's.
Yes.
When your friend leaves, is she what? Wait?
No, it was almost like she was like down to hang, basically.
And then you immediately put a
Yes.
no.
I was just sort of like, as I've said, I've only ever gone on dates with people I already know, so I was just like, this is too weird.
Was
too
she
weird.
caught off guard by you being like, I'm
yes,
sorry, it's
yes.
a no?
Oh, she said that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. No, I remember the look in her face very, very vividly. Yeah.
Do you think your other friend was telling her like, "Oh, Mike's
He's into
really
her,
into
yeah.
this"?
Yes, I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you follow it up with him?
I didn't say anything to him about it or anything.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Does that qualify for a relationship corner? Because
Oh,
I don't really have
yes,
advice on
absolutely.
it that I
Yeah.
need.
I mean,
but how do you get out of it?
The fact that I think you immediately put a stop to it and said this is is very adult.
Yeah, well, I was also
which
very
is
aware.
disappointing.
Like, I had recently been or broken up with someone, and I was aware that my apartment was kind of depressing as well. Where I was like, I didn't have a bed frame. I had like a mattress on the floor.
I remember
you know?
this phase.
Yes. And I was kind of like, I'm already not trying to do this. I'm not gonna like, let's go hang out in where my bed is. You know, I'm like, it's everything about it was too bleak.
Now I understand why he was trying so hard to set you up.
Yeah, but I'm not. You're not there when someone's not there.
That's funny. That's like in Swingers, if Jon Favreau had just been like, no, everybody leave.
Yes.
And then the movie just ends.
Yes. Which I would go like, good movie. I follow that. That tracks.
This has been
Relationship.
I was just waiting for Mike to do it with us.
Oh, I would never dare.
Relationship corner.
You been on any dates this week, Seth?
As it turns out, I have.
Was she a redhead?
No, she was not. In sort of the contralateral.
What's the contralateral?
Opposite.
5 points for Seth.
Yeah, that's good.
We may have to do a correction, but for now, 5 points for Seth.
Well, he
just
did the
means-
motion of it.
It just means the
contralateral motion,
opposite.
too. I think it's bad form to use a big word and then act like we should all know it.
I don't want to be condescending, which means to talk down to you. Anyways, excited about this date.
Okay.
Hinger, which I know y'all approve
We
of.
prefer
Good.
that.
Great. Perfect.
That's where you have a friend in common or something?
So it used
That
to
was
be
the
that.
origin.
Yeah.
I always say this too. I'm like, oh, who was your person in common? And people go like, I don't think it's that anymore.
Yeah.
Basically like off
Off
of Facebook
Facebook
friends or
and-
something,
yeah.
right?
So, yeah.
Oh, it's because no one uses Facebook anymore.
Well, maybe.
Or like
I
the
see what you're
crossover matrix has gotten so big that you go like, you both go to that deli or something.
Well, there
They
was
just are tracking
another
you.
one. It was purely based on proximity, and it would sync you up with someone with. I know, very
yeah,
creepy.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but if you were on the apps and you were trying to meet somebody and they were 3 miles away or 2 miles away, you could potentially meet up like that.
It would help you because you have such trouble getting together with dates.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like, no need to struggle with schedule or proximity. She's in the aisle beside you.
Right. But how would I fake a medical emergency to get out of a date if she knew exactly where I was?
I know you'd find a way.
Thanks, Meg. This one was checked a lot of boxes though.
Tell us.
A Hinger. Incredibly interesting backstory. Parents were both in the Peace Corps, so she was born, I think, when they were doing their 2 or 3 years of service, however long it was. Her first language was
Here we go.
combination of English from the parents and I think Afrikaans in
South Africa?
Yeah,
or?
they were in rural South Africa
Huh.
Cool.
for 2
Okay.
years. Did another thing in somewhere in I think maybe Tanzania or Sudan. I can't remember exactly where. Oh no, it was the Ivory Coast. So
All over the continent.
So Afrikaans, English, French,
French. Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Did she maintain these languages?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow.
And then States for when she was a kid, then Asia for high school.
Oh my god.
I mean, literally has traveled and been all over the world. Came back to the States for her education.
She's telling you this all on text, or how are you finding it out? Is it on her profile?
Some of it's on the profile.
Okay.
Some of it's just like they spoke 5 languages.
You're just very excited about languages.
I actually relate to this more than anything else, and I'm not a polyglot. But every time that you're like, she's got multiple languages, I'm like, I actually really get that as well. It really speaks to something else about a person's
Literally speaks to that.
character. I set up a pun!
What is it about it?
There's something about the intelligence of it, of being
Yeah.
able to just like walk into into a room, and if you speak English, Spanish, and like Mandarin, you can communicate with like 95% of the world. There's something about that, especially as someone who is outgoing like me, and I've got a translator with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He likes a lot of tongues.
Ooh. Very good.
Studied in the States, nutritionist.
You like that too.
Yeah, wow.
So excited about this, and she was very attractive.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
So
no one saw
check,
that
check,
coming.
Do you like that?
I'm into that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm into
Mhm.
that. So this was, for the first time in a while, a date that I was actually pretty excited about. Pretty easy texting. I told her I speak very bad Spanish and even worse French. So she starts testing me in French a little bit. I got the Google Translate open just to help.
Are you cheating?
Uh-huh.
To one of Mike's points, you're
Exactly right.
You're faking.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But
Mhm.
this would be a huge perk for me because I would love to be able to speak French and practice French with someone that I'm seeing.
You know that though a partner doesn't have to like be like an instructor or have like a skill set that you could like better yourself off of. They could just be a person you really like and connect with.
But it provides a little bit of that feeling of like the missing piece, though. I feel like.
All right.
Yeah, it's nice to be inspired by your partner. And,
Yes, totally.
And strive to,
Do moguls as well as they do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but she didn't ski.
Okay.
Ah,
But that's
sure,
okay. That's okay.
alright.
But that's okay. That's okay.
You could teach her something.
You just said that's okay so many times.
Yes, it did feel like that's not okay. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I actually
it's
love
fine.
that about her.
It's
I love
fine.
that about
It's
her.
okay. So really easy conversation. She's funny. We do a phone call within a day or two.
Is she LA or Colorado?
LA.
She sounds very promising.
Very promising. We're making a face. Your scowl.
Yeah,
There's a
don't
scowl.
know.
There's a scowl.
I don't know. Something's wrong. But go ahead.
Obviously, there's something wrong.
I don't know.
It's him.
So we have a phone call. It was super easy, super fun. And like 2 nights later, we're at Wally's.
Wally's back
So
in the mix.
fast.
Okay, okay.
Wally's.
Well,
And
it's great. What time are you going there? Are you going for like a happy hour type stage?
No, we met around 8, so for
Okay.
drinks.
Okay.
And she's a bit of a night owl too, which is also a huge perk.
Okay.
So
Right.
again, checking a lot of boxes.
So frequently you have so many obstacles to move this quickly, and you just are like, she's attractive enough to you that you're plowing forward.
It's not about plowing forward. We've talked about
You're
this
plowing her.
so we've talked about this so many times. If you don't move on these, they just disappear.
I know, but I'm saying you're prioritizing her more than your golf game, maybe, to make space and time for her.
By the 8 o'clock, it's dark
It's free.
outside.
Okay.
Okay,
I've already been to the range and played 9 holes. I've been to the gym.
Yeah.
I've practiced my French for the date. Ready to go.
You know that thing about how they say like the human brain can't like process that like the 1 million. Are you guys aware of this? Where it's like you can't like
understand
actually
the-
understand like when you go past basically 100,000. You moving fast so as to not like lose steam makes that same kind of math sense to me. Where I feel like a person would become so vague to me so fast if I let it drop for like 2 seconds. Staying it and plowing forward feels like the only possible way to make it make sense.
It's unfortunately very, very, very rarely do you connect with someone where the timer has expired, where the shot clock's gone out.
Sports.
What are you wearing? What is she wearing?
Thank
you
you,
so
Mike.
much.
By the way, I gotta be out of town for a couple weeks. I don't know, Mike, if this would be too much to ask.
He won't sing the relationship corner jingle. It would never work.
He'll do it.
Yeah, I'll come with you, sure.
What am I wearing? I'm wearing the usual. I think a white button-down, jeans, boots. She is in actually a similar, kind of a white button-down too, also, but sort of low cut.
You mean some of the buttons are undone?
Yeah. Black pants. She had like booty heely thingies going on. She looked great, and she looked just like her pictures, which is always, there's always
Seth's
that.
wiping some sweat from his brow.
And we sit, we get some wine.
Initial sparkometer.
Very high.
Give us a
Very
number.
high.
4.5, 4.6.
Oh,
4,
wow.
6.
North of 4 or 5. Heavens
Wow.
to Betsy.
Yeah, very pleasant. And the story she has from traveling, from everything, it's just so remarkable.
Sometimes I feel like if I meet someone that's that interesting, I'm like, what the heck? What am I going to say? I don't have anything to say.
Oh, I got nothing here.
Does it put you off kilter. She has the upper hand.
I feel like that's a draw for you. I feel like you tend to, you kind of like someone that feels like on some level they're higher status or something.
It's not for in this situation, it was not really a problem because she was so interactive. She wanted to know about cool cases that I've worked on. Like everybody else, she wanted to see pictures of things people have put in their butt in the emergency room.
I can't believe
I
this is
love
a
her.
Yeah. Is this a surprise to you?
No, it's
not a surprise.
No, I have doctor friends, and
You gotta see it.
Yeah,
You've seen everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your second Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. I had to do it.
So really, it's really going well. First hour in.
Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know. There's something about the timeline where I go like, okay, so what happens in the second hour?
Are you getting buzzy?
A little buzzy.
What wines are we drinking?
I'm drinking a French red, obviously,
Uh-huh.
and with her, with her worldly experience, she actually knew a ton about wine too, which was great.
Oh yeah.
But she wasn't like a big wine drinker. She just knew a ton about it.
Red
so
flag.
is she drinking it?
Red wine flag.
Red wine, I like that. She had a martini first, and I think she got a glass of white wine after for round 2.
Okay.
So the conversation turns to nutrition. I'm so
oh
excited.
God, Seth.
I know.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's not good. So I'm dying to pick her brain about this.
Yeah. So you bring it up.
Well, I want to know what her background is. So she has undergraduate in like chemistry and then a master's in nutrition or something like that.
Okay. Oh my
But
gosh.
her nutrition is more about saving the world,
Interesting.
getting basic life needs to sub-Sahara Africa, and not making water a gender assigned project for women.
So how do you pretend you're interested in that while also finding out what are the cleanest forms of protein that you should be consuming?
Well, this is what I want to know.
Yeah.
But she knows all about this and macros and the biochemistry of it. I mean, this is a brilliant woman. And so I want to pick her brain. I want to hear all about this. Why is this funny?
Because you're just so shallow, sitting there being like, "Oh, I just really wanted to talk about keto."
But yeah, I want to know. I want to pick her brain. This is
Yeah.
So show us what you do when she's like talking about the girls having to miss school to go get water from the well. So you just sort of like
you squint a little bit, you
Yeah.
narrow your eyes, and you nod.
But we've talked about this many times. I am all about finding egalitarian solutions for every one of the world's problems. And this is a massive problem. Many countries and many continents.
You don't have to pretend you care about it with us.
Stop! That's not funny! That's not funny! I do care.
Had you ever known about this issue prior to meeting this person?
Of course.
This is new to me.
You've never heard this?
I didn't know about the gender inequality of water access.
Third
Did
world.
everyone know about this?
Wait, I
Am
think
I the
I'm
only one who
confused.
didn't know?
I don't think it's water access. It's that women have to go
No,
fetch
no,
the
they
water.
water
Right.
procurement.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay,
I
okay,
misspoke.
Correct.
Yeah. Mike is indicating that Josh should lose points for
misspoke.
misspeaking.
Unfortunately, Josh is the one who decides.
But yes, I do want to know about. I want to hear about her diet. And my diet. I want to tell her about mine.
Okay.
I do. Sorry, I do.
You want to talk about it.
Sorry, not sorry.
But I want to talk about it because maybe she'll give you affirmation and be like, "You're really doing everything right.
Yes.
Way to
Yes.
go, pal."
Uh-huh.
Guess what?
That
did not
I
happen.
didn't think so.
This is one of the most interesting dates I've been on since we started this whole fiasco.
And it is a fiasco.
The most interesting thing that she possibly said was all of these diets Americans are on, or
Fad diets,
whatever they are, is the embodiment of privilege,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
wealth,
Yeah.
and of completely losing sight of the forest for the trees.
Yep.
And do you think was that while you were eating your salad and picking out the croutons and throwing them on the floor?
I offered her the croutons.
Okay.
Throwing them on the floor.
The first thing we talked about was milk, and how in this country no one drinks milk anymore if you're on any sort of a diet. You drink coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk, whatever,
rice milk,
whatever it is.
Yeah, we don't really
hemp
see rice
milk.
milk anymore.
And there's milk, M-Y-L-K.
All right.
Milk.
Milk.
Yeah.
Well,
I
That's
love
a-
milk.
That's
I
a tough
drink
one for
milk.
you because you pronounce the word
Milk.
milk.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
think that's my earliest pet peeve.
Oh,
I think it's like the first thing I ever remember going like, milk.
Milk.
Milk. It's very regionalist of you.
I apologize.
she like the first thing people do when they reach these poor villages that are starving is bring them whole milk, and it's life-saving.
Sure.
Whole milk from a cow.
Yeah.
And then she went off on vegans for
Oh.
well, yeah, this was interesting, for the fact that cow's milk is for baby cows only. Goat milk is for baby goats only. That
Okay.
this insane notion that there's not inherent nutritional value in these most basic, fundamental what you're making a face.
I don't think that's what vegans' arguments would be. I don't think vegans would say there isn't nutritional value in the milk. They would say just like if we have the option to not pump an animal full of hormones to create excess milk, we should not do that.
She was anti the whole idea that there's not a nutritional there's not a nutritional element to it.
Yeah, but that's what
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
no. But yeah, but okay, I think the different things here, because vegans would say that putting a defenseless animal into horrible living conditions where they're forced to produce milk is the problem. Not that the milk is unhealthy.
No,
or something.
that's not true.
Yeah.
Vegans would say animal products cause cancer. There's a very
Yes.
large
Yes.
verbal
Okay,
that
okay.
animal products cause cancer, animal products cause cardiovascular disease, and this is a very strong vegan argument that there is no nutritional value, no healthy amount of animal products should be ingested by humans. She was incredulous to this idea.
But
This-
but are the vegans saying like
we're
don't give
not, we're not
these-
being anti-vegan.
I think
that
it's more
people-
I think she's sharing her sort of world perspective as
Correct.
having spent time in Africa where people are starving because they don't have access to this makes it feel insane to be in LA where people are like, whole milk, I would rather die. And
Sure,
they're like,
that's
people are literally
People
correct.
are-
Sure.
That's
But I guess
correct.
more to
But
the
I don't
point.
think any of these people are going like, don't give them milk in Africa.
I'm not saying
Yes.
that.
I don't
I'm
think
not-
that she's even saying
You
that.
know
No,
what
no,
I
no.
mean?
I do know
Like-
what you're saying. Yeah,
But
yeah.
her whole point was that it blew her mind that people in this country that have access to anything and everything are so anti them having a glass of milk.
Okay, but
They're silly. Okay.
more to the point, how's all this milk talk making you feel?
It's amazing to hear her perspective.
Is it intimidating though?
No, it's amazing.
No, it's got to be exciting
It's
for you.
incredible.
Okay.
Wait, wait, why do you say that?
Because it's
He
she
knows
has-
me
she-
so well.
Because she has like a big external passion that has nothing to do with him.
She wants to spend 6 months in Europe at a foundation.
Okay, so you're hearing she'll be gone a lot.
No. I'm hearing more that it's sort of like as I picture different professions for Seth to be dating, something like this where he sounds passionate right now.
Yeah,
That's
he's
good.
turned up.
That's
Yeah,
good.
That is good.
Humanitarian is not a match for Seth. It's
Oh
not.
my God!
It's not.
He's a
It's not.
doctor. He is-
No, listen. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you're a bad guy. You do a lot for the people. You take care of a lot of people. I'm saying that it's not a match for you because you glaze over about some of these
Okay.
things.
But
Well-
no spoilies, maybe she is a match.
No, well, John.
Well, I don't know if it's a match or not. I'm
You just said it wasn't a match.
Well, I'm surmising.
Boys,
Well.
boys. Wait, so she's still chatting.
We're chatting, and then we turn to my diet.
Wait, who brought up your diet, Seth?
I brought up my diet,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just,
You didn't see that this would be a head-on collision?
listen again. Why beat around the bush?
Yeah.
Why?
But here it is hubris. Here it is, actually. Like if I heard all of that, I would never bring up my diet.
But I wanted her honest opinion.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
The
goodness.
choices you
We're
made.
about to talk about the miracle of wheat for 25 minutes.
It didn't take long before she just lost all interest.
Yeah, you watched it happen.
It was.
What
not.
was your? I gotta know your opener to get into this.
So whenever anybody wants to talk about this, and I love talking about this,
Yes.
is I love to say I eat high lean protein, low carb but not zero carb. I'm not keto. And the kicker is one day a week I do a cheat day.
Okay, yes. But I think, I don't know if Mike, if this is what you were interested in, but I'm interested in the moment
Yes,
of
exactly.
transition.
The tonal shift.
Where we've been talking
Yes.
about
Milk.
starvation, how a goat can change
Well, because
a
it actually
village.
it almost is the same metaphor that she's talking about with milk.
It's the same.
Where it's like then he is going
It's
like, but
the
I won't
same.
do this. And she's
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
that's what I just said about
I
milk.
totally agree. People are
Yeah.
so ridiculous.
Yes.
Anyway, the way you maximize your
Yes.
lean.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like how did it? Do you remember what the moment before was?
No, she had no problem with eating lean protein, fish and chicken and turkey and whatever. She had no problem with that.
That's not the question. The question is,
Hang on.
what
Well,
did
hold
you
on.
say?
I want this though too. I want
Hang
this
on,
though, too.
hang on. It was when I told her I do a cheat day.
Mhm.
Okay.
And she goes, what does that mean? And I go, basically, I don't really have a sweet tooth, but, I love to go get donuts or love to go get just
Have a croissant.
croissant, throw some butter on,
Pancakes.
a pancake, or go to Chick-fil-A and follow that up by going to In-N-Out, and then follow that up with once upon a time going to Millions of Milkshakes. There's a fun reference for you.
Wow. Throwback.
And just her face,
Yeah.
it wasn't great. And she's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" It's
Oh,
like,
you don't want to hear that on a date.
No, it was not good. It was not good. It just got real late, real fast at that point,
And what is she most horrified about? That you would gorge yourself?
I don't gorge myself. I'm not. I don't. I don't like.
But
what was
saying
her
that
reaction?
you've banged to fast food restaurants is not something that someone who is focused on the problem of hunger in the universe.
Sure, and actually one of her biggest problems was fast food in general, especially fast food in areas like Los Angeles where there's a predominance of fast food in underserved areas where there's what there's called food deserts, where there aren't healthy food options. And then she's like, "You're intentionally going to Jack in the Box."
Yeah.
And you've heard all this.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
Seth,
trying to be honest here.
Seth, I have to say, this is almost like you are going out of your way to make sure that dates don't work out. And whether that's conscious or subconscious, I don't know. But in this case, you really
this is a major misstep. This is a major
What am I
misstep.
gonna do?
Well, no, it's all too late. Like the second you start talking about this.
No. I'm not gonna be dishonest here.
You could have easily sidestepped this because you were interested in what she was
Sure,
talking about.
but again,
you were just more interested in your
It's
diet.
it's a minefield, actually. I'm actually coming around. I'm on your side.
Wow.
I actually think that it's really hard to know what the thing is. I'm super anti-fast food. I am like so annoyingly anti-fast food. It is
more
a
power
problem
to you.
in
And
my
I'm not.
life. Yes.
With the exception of In-N-Out, which is a healthier health food.
Sure.
I don't,
Although they say they do a veggie burger and it's just a grilled cheese. Like they say that. I'm like,
but
it's
I'm
a
with you.
grilled
I
cheese.
don't.
Do we think Chipotle's fast food? Because you like that.
But again, the way I do Chipotle is chicken, black beans, and veggies. I'm not throwing tons of sour cream and tons
But
of
is
cheese.
your issue that it's not good for you, or is your issue that
I think it's bad for the
morally
world. I think it's bad
reprehensible?
for the
Yeah.
world.
Well, that's the problem.
But my
yes.
point, actually, that I'm on your side here is I can't even imagine dating people. Like, it sounds so horrible to me. You have no idea what someone's things are.
Right, correct.
You know, so like you're going like you have your cheat day, and maybe in another world, this is a charming moment to that person.
Maybe you're right. Except for he's just had 30 minutes of her describing her
Yeah.
interaction with the world and milk.
Yeah. No.
It is like you could, in this scenario, you could guess what her things are.
That's true. You're right. That is true. I feel sympathy for Seth because he messed up so badly here.
I think that you're really aligning yourself with him because you're on his side of the table.
Which you guys did.
I know, and I'm sorry about that. You don't have to defend him in this situation.
Well, no, I do think, and I think my main draw, not to be meta and talk about the podcast on the podcast, but it's that I go, oh, I can't imagine going on dates. It sounds horrid to me.
That's true.
And so he gets into a thing like this, and I go, I don't know. I would have said something dumber, so it would have been even worse, you know.
That's
So
true.
I'm not going to deceive this person.
You just didn't have to get into it.
Yeah,
Like,
you're hearing a person talk about like a global crisis. I do feel like I would like blank out words like, you know, in
But
and
do you
out
think
in my
I wasn't
mind.
interactive with her when we're talking about these problems and how amazing this is?
I bet that was even more confusing for her because she's like, wow, he's so
Okay.
on board.
Enough about all that. Let's talk about my 1,800 calories a day.
Yes.
All right. So she checks out.
Yeah, you watch the light go out of her eyes.
A look you're familiar with.
very
Are you disappointed, or are you like, yeah, well,
super interested in this, but I'm not going to deceive this person.
You had no instinct that this might be a problem for her when you started talking about it. So you're saying you didn't deceive her. So does that mean that you knew it might be a problem, but you wanted to be forthcoming?
Correct.
Or
100% correct.
Okay, you knew it might be a problem.
100% correct.
I have a different thought about it. I think you saw Nutritionist and pre-planned, like, this is something I'm excited to talk about.
Yes.
Are you saying I meal planned?
Yeah.
we
and
accept.
even as this date is unfolding before your eyes, you choose not to take in the information that's coming and pivot, and you're still like, well, it said nutritionist on a profile.
Yes.
Here it comes.
Yeah, like it's set in the script. He's like, I do have to get to that. I plan to get to that.
Yeah, and I think you just didn't check
fine.
into the feedback that was in front of you.
Fair. Totally fair points. But let's say I don't broach the subject, or let's say I do tiptoe around it.
Yeah.
2 dates later, 4 dates later, however long it is, it's going to come up. It's going to happen.
I think, but what they're struck by is the proximity to the initial conversation about global.
Yeah, I guess that's it, right? Like, let's say you guys hit it off in all the other ways, like honk honk, whatever, and then days on, your diet starts to present itself, and she's like, oh, interesting. Okay, I'm not crazy about that, but I like you, and I'm sure we could talk about this kind of stuff, as opposed to I just spilled my guts about this thing that I'm passionate about, and then you just
spilled the guts of the thing that I'm passionate about.
Yes,
but then she's weighing the two as virtuous
the immediate
passions.
juxtaposition.
So she's not interested. You watch her fall out of interest, and what happens?
That's about it. I can't remember how she got out of it exactly, but it was not subtle.
What's that feel like for you?
Pretty standard, pretty par for the course.
But you don't really care because you were more excited. So.
I was more excited,
but you know that this is incompatible, and you're
it seems like it's not going to happen.
Is it to you, like in your worldview, would it be lame of you to go, I'm sorry, I know I just totally messed that up? And I
would absolutely backtrack like that.
Yeah,
I would absolutely
but
do
not
that.
here. I don't know. I feel like I would go I understand what I just said was so trite. I'm sorry. I think I focused on the thing or whatever. I don't know.
I absolutely would apologize if I felt I said something inappropriate. I would absolutely try to right the ship if I was rocking the boat. But in this particular scenario, it didn't feel like there was going to be much mending of
Before you start talking about your diet, what do you think the possibilities are?
Great question.
What's alive and open, and then that you watch disappear after
Our fantasy suites on the table.
Not for this first date, no.
Yeah.
But
honk honk maybe on the table.
So make out is on the table.
Life partner?
Second, third date, very much on the table.
Wow, so it's that huge of a shift.
I think the biggest problem here, and there are many,
yes,
is the shrug that I think that's my.
I think that is the main thing, our main chorus here that we all have.
This is at problem 101.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yes,
There's
I agree.
Always another date on the horizon.
Yes, you have the Meat Lovers pizza in the back of your car. Tommy boy.
It's cut.
Yeah, honestly, Meat Lovers while talking about a date. Yeah, honestly, you're right. Cut it.
I don't think that you've come up with many people on the apps who speak 5 languages, who have had the experience that she's had.
Yeah.
Is that not worth fighting for a little bit?
Listen.
Or at least not intentionally dying.
I don't think I intentionally sabotaged here. I think your read is false.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't feel intentional.
No.
Shockingly, glaringly obvious and possible to avoid, but not intentional.
But
yes,
unconscious,
but it's
gonna come up. It's gonna come up.
Yeah,
I understand.
Yes, so once again though, it's the context
I get
right
it.
after.
I totally get it. But the diet, it's my weird. It's everybody has their weird.
Nobody's worried about your. I mean, we're worried about your diet, but not. And did you walk her to her car?
No. She was like, all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's out of there.
Yeah.
She must run into this a fair bit, though, I would think. I mean, if she's like anyone who drinks almond milk is a monster, LA is not the place for her to date.
Fair.
But you come on, man.
I feel like you accept rejection, and I'm an actor. I get my whole life is rejection.
Hey, unless you're auditioning against me.
Yeah, then it's success. High success. But I almost feel like sometimes I hear you accept a rejection. I go like, wait, why? Just I feel like I don't know. Or maybe that's why I'd be bad at dating. Is I would be so hurt that I would want to do something to make it work or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not.
I think
that's
this
not
is such a great point.
But are you feeling also that they are sort of like in the same way that you're like, I can just find another person on the app, and when their expression deadens, you're going, oh, they're thinking I can just find another person on the app that's not like this.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Wow. So dark, so very dark.
I think, Mike, would you like to read the point tally as it stands after this 2-parter, Mike Castle?
I read it? Yes. Okay. So I would say that Meg has -12. It looks like Josh has 15.
Times 5.
What is 15 times 5? 30,
5 to 75.
Okay. So 75, I have 4,351.75, and Seth didn't get anything.
No, I got 5.
Oh, I
got
thought that was
5.
2 5s. Okay, so you got 5. That's nice. That's nice.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and let me say, as a guest, I truly do. I like you, and I want you to have success. I want it. I truly do.
Well, man.
I really do. Okay, bye. We love you.
Bye.